A gigantic blockbuster deal in the NFL this afternoon. The Seattle Seahawks are trading superstar quarterback Russell Wilson to the Denver Broncos. Wow. And this has to happen for everyone involved. This is a win for all parties involved. The Denver Broncos haven't had a quarterback since Peyton Manning. It has been a complete disaster at the quarterback position since Super Bowl 50. And in a related story, they haven't made the playoffs since. The Broncos have a playoff roster everywhere but the quarterback position. They were buried last year by Teddy Bridgewater and Drew Lock. Now, with Russell Wilson, the Denver Broncos, they're making the playoffs. The Broncos are now in the Super Bowl conversation. That's the kind of trade this is for the Denver Broncos. Russell Wilson is a Hall of Fame quarterback with a ton of great years left. Russell Wilson changes the culture and the expectations. Russell Wilson is a superstar, has amazing, unreal talent and leadership and charisma. This is the perfect quarterback for the Denver Broncos, and the weapons around him, my goodness, amazing. You guys know I'm obsessed with Javonte Williams, a young stud at running back. Jerry Jeudy just getting started at the wide receiver position, and you're going to have Wilson thrown to Jeudy and Cortland Sutton and KJ Hamler and Tim Patrick, and the Broncos defense is legit. Love our guy Pat Surtain at the cornerback position, and you know how much I love that Nathaniel Hackett hire. New head coach, super smart, real offensive guru. Wilson is going to love throwing it in Hackett's version of the West Coast offense. Let Russ cook is going to be an amazing way of life in Denver. It's amazing. And look, for Seattle, take a breath, Seahawks fans. Trust me, this makes sense. This is a no-brainer and a win for the Seahawks. We've been saying it over and over and over again. It was over for Russell Wilson in the Great Northwest. And if you've been paying attention, this was inevitable. We said last year on Time to Shine, by the 2022 offseason, Russell Wilson would be an ex-Seahawk, and it happened. Why? Variety of reasons, starting with this. Russ wanted out. Russ wanted to cook. He ripped the offensive line. Pete Carroll and Russell Wilson didn't see eye to eye. Russell Wilson will always be a Seahawk and a Seattle sports legend and entrenched, but they were a last-place team with him, and they are going to be a last-place team now without him. So this trade expedites the rebuild. It's a brilliant win for John Schneider and the Seattle Seahawks. Seattle gets 3 players. They get 2 first-rounders, 2 second-rounders, and a 5th-rounder. They needed the picks after the horrendous, ill-fated Jamal Adams deal where they gave the Jets 2 first-round picks. And now they're going to have flexibility and options at quarterback. They could look to free agency or the draft or make a huge trade. I mean, they could take Malik Willis now at 9 or take those picks and, I don't know, make a deal for Deshaun Watson. I mean, it's all there, all the possibilities. Pretty great flexibility. And by the way, I dig Noah Fant with DK Metcalf and Tyler Lockett. In the NFC West, the Seattle Seahawks are going to be dead last no matter what. This was a huge win for the Seattle Seahawks. Everybody here gets what they wanted, but there's no bigger winner than the Denver Broncos. I think Aaron Rodgers is going to end up staying with Green Bay because of what he told me before Week 18 on the Adam Schein podcast, where he has a vastly improved relationship with Brian Gutekunst. And, I think we'll get news by March 8th. I think as long as they pay him, think 2 or 3 year deal, 45, 50 mil guaranteed per year, and they signed Davante Adams. Yeah. As we predicted to the dates, the deal is reportedly done. According to the NFL Network, Aaron Rodgers gets a 4-year contract extension worth $200 million. Aaron Rodgers is the most talented quarterback in NFL history. Aaron Rodgers is coming off of the 2 best seasons of his majestic, legendary career, both MVP seasons. Aaron Rodgers is worth, obviously, every single penny. Now, Ian Rappaport is reporting it's $153 million guaranteed. Rodgers will get $50 million a season and the highest average annual salary of any player in the sport. Rodgers took to Twitter and said he's coming back. The details and the reports, not accurate, but this is what it's going to take to get it done. And the Packers had to pay Aaron Rodgers for being a megastar and at the top of his game and at the top of the league, and also pay him because they ruined the relationship 2 years ago with that horrendous first-guess, ill-fated decision to trade up for a project quarterback in Jordan Love in the first round instead of drafting Michael Pittman or T. Higgins at the wide receiver position, as we begged them to do. And that destroyed everything and started the slippery slope of mistrust. Aaron Rodgers wanted to win a championship. Green Bay wanted to find his replacement. Rodgers was rightly livid, and he wanted out last offseason. But things changed when the Packers gave him Randall Cobb and gave him the flexibility for right here, right now, this offseason. So as a result, he reported to camp last year. And then, of course, Rodgers told me in early January on my podcast that the relationship with Brian Gutekunst had truly improved, and Goonie had met him in the middle. And then Rodgers famously said, it made huge news, Adam, the grass is greener where you water it, which was the first hint that he was going to stay in Green Bay, Wisconsin. Look, I'm so happy for Rodgers. He's a megastar who was absolutely disrespected, and now there's no confusion or debate. And, I'm really happy for Matt LaFleur, who loves coaching Aaron Rodgers. And with the news that Davante Adams got the franchise tag today, it means the Rodgers and Adams duo will be together this year, and I'll bet you for many years to come in Green Bay. And here's the big key if you're a Packers fan. The Green Bay Packers, with the news of the day, will be in line for a championship this year. Be in line for a championship for the duration of this contract. 2 years of insanity were created inexplicably by an ill-fated draft pick, and now it all comes full circle. Aaron Rodgers, the highest paid player in the NFL, and forever a Packer. Next stop has to be another Lombardi Trophy. Amazing Champions League action today on CBS and Paramount Plus. In the first quarterfinal, Bayern Munich breezed to an easy win over Salzburg thanks to a hat trick from my guy, Lewandowski. Robert Lewandowski, unbelievable. Then it was Serge Gnabry who put the match out of reach, making it 4-0 at halftime. 3 goals in 23 minutes from my guy, the L Train. Byron, moving on. In the second match of the afternoon, Inter Milan beat Liverpool 1-0, but it wasn't enough as Liverpool moves on to the round of 8 thanks to an aggregate score of 2-1. Time for some news you could use, and it was a busy day in the NFL. In addition to all those trades we talked about to start the show, it was franchise tag deadline, 4 p.m. Eastern, and as expected, the Bucs tag stud receiver Chris Godwin, after failing to work out a long-term deal, he's going to make over $19 million if he plays this year on the franchise tag. Here's an educated guess. And remember, played in 14 games. He tore his ACL. This is the second consecutive year he gets hit with the franchise tag. You know that Jason Light, the outstanding GM of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, is going to want to give him a long-term deal. And I bet you they get it done before the July 15th deadline. More NFL news you could use, where another key wide receiver has a new deal as the Chargers agreed to a 3-year, $60 million deal with Mike Williams. This, to me, was phenomenal for Mike Williams, who had an excellent season, and you didn't want him to play on the franchise tag. You wanted to get a multi-year deal done. Great for Mike Williams. I talked to him on my SiriusXM radio show. Love playing for Brandon Staley. Loves Justin Herbert. I'm telling you, the Chargers are going to be amazing, and by doing this kind of deal, frees the Chargers up to sign some more players. They certainly need help on defense, some cats who can stop the run. More news you could use from the NFL today. The Jaguars placed the franchise tag on left tackle Cam Robinson for the second straight season. is a big deal. He protects the blind side for Trevor Lawrence. Also, I just can't see them taking a left tackle with the #1 overall pick in the draft if they're going to bring back Cam Robinson, and I like that they're doing that. So I think, and I think Aiden Hutchinson is the best player in this draft. Makes sense to take the Michigan defensive lineman with that #1 overall pick coming up in April. So this is good for Trevor Lawrence. Also has a domino effect with the #1 pick in the draft. Staying in the NFL, friend of the show, CBS Sports senior NFL insider Jonathan Jones reports that Carolina Panthers have received multiple calls about the availability of Christian McCaffrey. This is interesting. He's a superstar, but he's barely played over the last 2 seasons with a variety of injuries. Look, if I'm Carolina, I would trade Christian McCaffrey if I can get a first-round pick in return. Can you imagine Christian McCaffrey on a team like, I don't know, the Miami Dolphins and Mike McDaniel's offense? They need someone to help out Tua Tagovailoa. Also, I expect the Carolina Panthers to be hot and heavy for Deshaun Watson. So if they have to give up top picks, maybe they can get one back here for Christian McCaffrey. News you could use from the NBA, where Greg Popovich notched win number 1,335 last night. He's now in a tie for first all-time with Don Nelson for most wins in NBA history. Look, I've made this case before, and I'll make it right now. Greg Popovich is the best of the best. He is the best coach in the history of the NBA. Look at all the times he won the title, been to a ton of finals, 3-time coach of the year. He had that consecutive streak that was just snapped of all those years in a row, making the postseason. That's something that is just off the charts. Look, Red is phenomenal. Phil Jackson, phenomenal. Pat Riley, phenomenal. Steve Kerr, phenomenal. Nobody better in the history of the NBA than my guy, Greg Popovich.
Thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe. And don't forget to hit the bell for more videos.